discussions. The international break is a time of reflection, and luckily for us, we're on a great run, you know. So we're going to talk about somebody a lot of people are talking about at the moment, and that is Pulisic. Now, when he came to Chelsea, everyone was quite excited. As an American player. I love Americans, so I'm thrilled about that. But he cost a lot of money, and we expected him to, be in the starting lineup, especially because he was only one of our only signings that we could make, and we did that before we had the transfer ban. However, he didn't really seem to make it into Frank and Jodie's side for quite a while. I'm not sure what was going on in training there. I suspect, Frank says he plays players based on merit. They probably weren't seeing something in him on the training pitch, and that's why he didn't feature. However, that being said, Frank does play players based on merit, and he had a really good game. And ever since then, he's been featuring in the starting 11. He's been scoring goals. He's been scoring really, really good goals, and his performance has been brilliant. So that leaves the question: now that Pulisic is in the side, you have to make, way for somebody else to leave. I doubt. I know Ross Barkley's not featuring anyway at the moment. He's injured, but I doubt he'll get back into the team this season. I don't see it.
No, right now, midfield's probably the most stacked part of our team, and midfield's also by far the strongest part of our team. And I don't like slaying players like it, but let's be real, Ross Barkley's at the bottom of that level right now. And when Loftus-Cheek comes back, he's going to be even further down that pecking order. The thing with Ross Barkley is he has had his chance. This is his third Chelsea manager now that he's failed to impress under. He didn't show much under Conte. Didn't show much on the Sarri bar, a couple of free kicks.
Which is weird though, because he was so good in pre-season.
No, but that's him for you. I've got past it. I'm not following all the pre-season hype anymore. He's one of them sorts of players that can have a banging pre-season, but he just doesn't show up at the Premier League.
Pre-season's a bit of a weird one. I think it's for fitness. It's not really for your form, really.
Yeah, maybe he just keeps match fit all through the year. I don't even know. But midfield stacked, and it's good. It's really good that we have a selection headache like that, because that means whatever option you put in is going to be an effective option. Right now, Jorginho and Kovacic, their chemistry is fucking crazy.
Insane.
N'Golo Kante's world class. He just walks into any team in the world, let alone Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. Even last season, he was one of our best players.
Well, I think he put out on Instagram, didn't he? He was saying he can't wait to get back into this team. He's really excited to play with this team. And I do think there's room for Loftus-Cheek. I think Frank will know how to incorporate him and give other players a rest, because at the end of the day, they are going to need a rest. Mason's going to need a rest eventually. It's just common sense to me. Another player that we are thinking is going to have a bit of a struggle is Pedro. Now, I love Pedro. I think Pedro is such a phenomenal player. I think he's one of the fastest players on the pitch. I think Pedro, to be fair, is actually used best as a sub. When the rest of the team are tired, he can come on and completely destroy the opposition. That's the way I look at Pedro. Do I think he's a first starting 11 for every game? No, and I think Frank Lampard sees that as well. But I definitely think he's an asset to the team. So unlike Barkley, and I still like Barkley as a player, but unlike Barkley, where I think he'd probably be better suited to a different team now what we're seeing with what Frank is doing and everything, and he's trying to bring in young players, hungry players. Ross Barkley's been around for quite a while, and I think he'd probably do better to go into a different team. Pedro, on the other hand, I think obviously he's going to come to the end of his career soon. I still think there's a place for him somewhere. I just don't think he's going to get as much game time.
Nah, I think I'm going to go the other way around.
Are you?
All I've been saying about Barkley.
Oh, we're disagreeing.
He's at least decent. At least a decent backup option. And to have someone like Ross Barkley coming off the bench, or someone you could put in the lesser game, that would be effective for us.
I don't think Pedro's being given enough credit. He's scored some great goals for us over time.
Pedro's scored some great goals for us, but he's been slowly declining, I think, ever since 16, 17. I think now age is really starting to catch up with him.
Yeah, but it is hard, though, when you're not somebody who's featured every week. It is quite hard to keep up that form. And I think for the amount of game time he's had, for the amount of starting chances he's had, I don't really think you can ask for much more of him. I think Ross Barkley, on the other hand, has been given the benefit of the doubt quite a lot and not performed as well in game time.
No, but that's the thing. I don't think there's much more you can ask of him, but that's because right now I think he's past it at that point. He's a great servant. He's done a lot for Chelsea. I've got nothing negative to say about Pedro. And also 16, 17 when we last won the league, the guy was so clinical and won us so many points. But ever since then, it's been a slow decline. Last season I thought he was all right. He was better than William was last season. I'll give him that. But you can really see this ain't the same Pedro. And that's nothing against him, because it's age. Age happens and you decline. He's
it's always a time to move on, of course. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to feature, but I still think he's got some leg room.
I think the difference between him and Ross Barkley is at least You say Ross Barkley, he technically has age on his side. I mean, he's what, 24, 25
No,
now, but it's only compared to Pedro.
He's young, but he's played a lot of the top flight, as well as, for instance, Mason Mount is young, but he's been playing the Championship. That's what I mean by that.
No, I think Ross Barkley, I'd only want to keep him for age's sake, but I think with Ross Barkley, I agree with you as well. Ross Barkley would be a lot better at a mid-table side or a team that would rely on him a lot more, because you see him when he has the ball, he just does too much.
Yeah, but I think he'd play better in a mid-table team. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. Because I think he'd be one of their best players, and he'd be scoring goals left, right, and centre. That's what I believe. Anybody else we think is going to struggle? I mean, at the end of the day, and we have to be honest here, Pulisic's only been playing good for a few weeks, you know, so we could be after January talking about how he's declined, whatever else. Football's fickle. But I hope that when Loftus-Cheek comes back, he's got a place in the team, and he seems excited about it.
So do I. Really hope Loftus-Cheek has a place at the side, but
and Hudson-Odoi, but we've got so many good players now.
But you gotta be realistic and also look at it and be, where does Loftus-Cheek fit into it? I mean, like, we were just having this talk about N'Golo Kante as well. Like, when Jorginho and Kovacic are playing, is he getting into the team as well?
Frank said that Kante, although he's one of the best holding midfielders in the world, he has a lot more to offer as well. So who knows what Frank's got up his sleeve? I mean, we just don't know, do we?
That just showed, like, Frank Lampard's a genius. There's a reason the guy has an IQ of 150. He knows exactly what he's talking about. But I'm very interested to see how he manages this Chelsea side. He's done it pretty well. You can see, even on like basic things like interviews and everything, you can see from the players, you can see the impact that he's having on the squad. You can see how much the motivation, how much the morale has improved in this side. But I'm interested to see how he balances and rotates everyone. I think it is possible that you can give the majority of these players the game time that they want, because this season we're going through a lot of fixtures, and we've also been going through a lot of fixtures playing a lot of the same team. We're
going to need to be able to rotate. We're going to need to have a plan A, and we're going to have to also need a plan B and C.
Exactly.
We're going to need that, because, you know, past seasons we've struggled. We've had a plan A, we've not had a plan B. So I really hope that he figures that out. Guys, comment below and let us know who you think our best midfield would be. Do a team A, do a team B, and we'll try and figure it out ourselves. But yeah, we agreed mostly on that, didn't we? Apart from Barkley, maybe?
More or less, yeah, but I think we both know there's going to be a hell of a lot of rotation this season.
Yeah, it's good to disagree sometimes. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, comment below and please click the subscribe button, and we will see you all after the international break.